This is Broke Money Hustle. And now, here's Broke Money Hustle with Franklyn and Erik.
All right, here we are again. This is episode 2, coming at you from wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Google Podcasts, which we just got approved for, coming soon to Apple, I hope. We are live on Facebook, Broke Money Hustle, and we are also live on our Broke Money Hustle YouTube channel, hoping that if you're listening, you'll come into the comments and give us some questions that we can address later. I'm sure we can entertain you with our imbecilic answers as we stumble through trying to learn how to invest our broke money. And when I say broke money, I'm talking about $20 or $30 left over in your pocket. Let's try to grow that instead of spending it on a worthless, new pair of socks or another subscription to yet another streaming service that you won't be watching in 6 months. So I am joined, of course, by my co-host, TJ. How you doing today, man?
Oh, doing good.
How was the market for you today?
It was pretty good. I didn't lose too much, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah, actually, I had a pretty good day, up almost $30 on my Robinhood account, which was nice.
Nice.
And did some other little investments that we're going to touch on because it touches with our news articles that we're going to get to here in later on. First thing, though, we're going to start a new segment where we're trying to define terms. There's a lot of terminology in investing, in money, in finance, that some people may stumble over. And one of those is ETF. You got that for us?
Yep. Let me do a screen share here.
Awesome. And those of you who are listening, if you want to see what we're doing, we're on YouTube. And we are on broadcasting live through our Facebook channel. And we are talking about ETF. So go ahead and give us the lowdown. What is an ETF, TJ?
All right. ETF is an exchange-traded fund. It's kind of like a mutual fund. It's made up of different stocks and bonds and other commodities. And so it's basically a security made up of other securities. But unlike mutual funds, an ETF can be traded on the exchange like a stock. So you can buy a share of an ETF just as you would a stock, but it kind of gives you that, nice comforty feeling of a mutual fund.
Awesome. That seems like a pretty good definition. Now, do all ETFs give you, what is it called when the company pays you back?
Oh, dividend.
Dividend. That's right. So do they all do a dividend or is it just certain ones?
Only certain ones.
Okay. Dividend, that's probably another one that we'll put on the define list, but basically you get rewarded for owning part of the company with a small share based on this. It's based on the value of the stock at the time of the dividend. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Something like that. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hopefully this definition helps some of you guys out. I know it's one of those things that I had to Google and I had to watch a couple of videos on YouTube to get an idea of what an exchange traded fund was. And I do have a couple, and I believe Realty investment that that is an ETF, I believe, Realty Income, I think. I know it pays me a dividend, which is nice. That was one of the
That's the main thing.
first dividends that I got. And I've actually seen some others coming in too. Whole 11 cents on another one and 24 cents on another one. So
I got a dividend coming back on the free stock Robinhood gave me when I signed up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's not much, but I'm like, not only did I get a free stock, but I'm also getting like a free dividend off of it. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about this type of stuff because we have a special guest with us. Is a friend of mine. We've been friends on Facebook for many years, and it's a great chance to bring him up. His name is Franklyn, and he's just like us. He's another blue-collar guy, and we're just trying to do things to grow our money and, stop doing those poor things that we did or maybe that our family histories are part of. So I'm going to bring him into the chat. Here's Franklyn. How you doing today, sir?
Fine. How about yourselves?
Doing better than I deserve, as Dave Ramsey would put
David,
it.
yeah.
I hear you there.
Okay, well, yeah. Why don't you tell the folks listening just a little bit about your background and how you got into investing, what platforms you're using, what else are you doing, side hustles, that type of thing.
Sure. Again, my name is Franklyn. I'm a returning artist, I should say, because I've been doing jobs for the technical field for pretty much all my life. The last job I did was at the autonomous vehicle testing facility. One of the test engineers there. So that's also self-driving cars, as everyone pretty much afraid of now. I do have a website called Codename Studios, codenamestudios.com, where you can see all my work. And other side hustles, I have been approached to start doing voice acting work. So because have
nice.
that ability to be like, I don't know if you guys heard that guy from Police Academy, Michael Winslow.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So you put yourself on the spot. We're going to have to hear something. So,
okay. Try to think of. I doubt the Kryptonians can bring about such destruction, or I could sound like Lunar from Lunar on Stitch, stuff like that.
That's fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Someone told me to do Pee Wee Herman as Batman, and they just like rolled out laughing. So I'll just say that for a special occasion.
Oh wow, that's great. I actually might have to hire you for that too. For my cartoon Dreaded Dinosaur Man, I want to do an animated introduction for it, and I've been looking at VO stuff. But that's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so tell us, what do you do to try to grow your money?
Around 2017, when I was working at that facility, I found out about an app called Robinhood, and I've been on that platform ever since. And I've started using that platform. I guess the first thing I did was start playing with penny stocks just to get used to what is trading, how does it work, how does the app work itself, and just putting a little change that I had in my account into it, just to see how it grows, what it doesn't do. I like the Robinhood app because they do give you articles on the side to have you to read, so you can understand what the companies are going through. And over time, just like you, I was on YouTube looking up so many YouTubers who talk about financing, like different charts to read how data is going, how to predict when the stock market is going up and when it's going down. There's different charts for reading it. That's weird. The other thing is, I was learning. You were talking to him about dividends. I just learned about that maybe about a few months ago, and I did not notice that when my account rises, I thought maybe I deposited money in, but it turns out that Robinhood messages you and tell you that a dividend came in, and that's like, oh wait, I'm getting money. What's going on? What's going on?
Quite a happy little surprise. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I invested in like you were saying, ETFs. I invested in a power ETF where everybody needs power to run something. So, and that stock is steadily growing. I couldn't believe it. Like I checked my stock this morning myself, and it rose like $15. Nice. And it was growing all last week by $20 a day.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like, this is incredible. I can't believe life could be like this. This is awesome. I've just been invested in that, and I plan on looking at other platforms because I don't believe in having your eggs in all one basket type of thing.
Correct.
So I was going to look at Webull because I keep seeing the YouTubers I do follow. That's one of my interests. I keep mentioning Webull and N1 financing. That's a little bit expensive, but the returns on it is pretty well. I think I could do that one. I think that's pretty much it.
Well, awesome. If you decide to pull the trigger on either one of those platforms, come back and tell us your experience, because that's another thing is we really want to try to tell everybody the tools that are out there. I've heard of Webull several times. I watch Meet Kevin quite a bit. and that YouTuber, and he's a real estate guy, but he's always pushing the Weeble stock, and so that one's kind of on my mind too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything outside of stocks? I know for myself, I've been buying a lot of silver, and I also do crypto. Are you into any of those?
Yeah, Robinhood has a crypto section, so I do have two that I'm in. So I'm still not understanding exactly how it works. I believe even on your Facebook channel, you showed me a guy that talks about silver and gold, like what is the difference between money and currency. That guy.
Oh yeah, that video series is a gold mine.
Yeah,
It's
I was
great.
just when you showed me that first video, I had to go back and read the other four or something like that and just try to catch up and everything. It's really educational, and so I'm learning about cryptocurrency through him. Like one guy took a transaction 4 hours to transfer. I was like, I don't want to do that, but but I invested in Ethereum Classic, which is
Okay.
lower than as far as they stock pricing, purchasing power is way lower than Ethereum, which is like I think it was around like $200 a share. I definitely can't afford that. But I bought a lot of stock in Ethereum Classic, and it has got up pretty high. I see it as high as $12 for me, but they recently went down, so
Yeah.
so it takes some time to come up. Is there anything else that I invest in? No, like I know I saw your guys' show last week, and you guys talk about Ford stock, and when they stock went down, is when I invested in, and then it grew back up. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Ford has been a boomer for me. I'm loving it.
Yeah, me too.
And it's one of those stocks that I really think, especially after the whole the crisis that we all had to suffer through, and all of that red tape that the president cut in order for them to start making medical grade masks and ventilators and stuff like that. I really think we're going to see a lot as we move production from China. We're going to see companies like Ford taking a brunt of that production, and I think it's just going to be a boom for them.
Yeah. Exactly.
But again, that's pure speculation, and I want to remind everybody who's listening to us or watching us, we are not experts. This is not financial advice. Please do not make any money decisions based on anything that we say or are doing, because we don't want to be at fault for you losing your house. Consult a professional advisor before you make any large decisions, and do your own homework, do your own research. Look up a lot of YouTubers that are professionals in this, much more than we are, and just get your own education, and then and then you're welcome to come on the show if you contact us and tell us about your experiences. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we're going to want to go through some news, and as you mentioned, Franklyn, the Robinhood app, it's great for getting to articles and stuff that are relevant to the day and what's going on. So I want to bring up one. This is a Market Watch, and we're talking about they're given some picks of different stocks that they like. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, this is an opinion piece on Market Watch. It's called "Buy This, Not That: 5 Stocks to Trade Into Now and 5 to Avoid." And so they kind of go a back and forth. They're picking stocks in the same realms, like shopping, pharmaceuticals, and kind of saying, well, this, but I would say do this. And the one I really want to highlight is they're saying buy Alibaba, not Amazon. Of course, everybody knows the Amazon stock. It's currently trading at $2,500 and some odd dollars a share. Alibaba, however, is at $219 a share, down 55 cents today. But they make the case for Alibaba as the rest of the world is kind of going to stick with China, even if we go it alone, and that Alibaba, which is a Chinese company, this is a sourcing company for a lot of people. They'll, like, if you go on Amazon, ironically enough, and you look up something like silicone toe separators or something like that, something silly, you'll find half a dozen of this same product. And you're like, where are people getting these products? Well, they're getting them from Alibaba. There's manufacturers there, and they'll do they'll do the branding work for you. If you order enough, they'll brand it for you, and then you can do through Amazon, sell through Amazon, and you can ship them to Amazon. They'll warehouse them and list them alongside of everything else. And this covers a wide variety. This is something that I'm looking into as another small business venture, is to actually source some production somewhere and try to sell on Amazon. But the question I wanted to discuss is, given the tensions with China, given the thing we just went through globally, and the fact that they're a communist state, do we want to buy stocks of Chinese companies? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd be apprehensive about it. Didn't they recently say, you know how before the like Hong Kong was kind of like set, like it was part of China because they got it back from the British, but then they kind of had their own rules and everything. So it's kind of like China owned Hong Kong, but then they could kind of do what they wanted. They weren't like beholden to capitalism, or I'm sorry, to communism. So they could do capitalist things in Hong Kong, but now they're trying to do it to where it's all one. So Hong Kong's not going to be capitalist anymore. It's going to be communist like the rest of China.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. Franklyn, what's your opinion of this type of scenario?
I mean, I listen to Dave Ramsey and other rich people I happen to know. They say foreign currency markets are good to invest in, but as far as China, I'm not really a fan of them right now because they've been the source of a lot of world problems. And I do have friends in Asia, mainly Philippines and Japan, and they don't like China sending their gunboats around the South China Sea. Right now, the Americans and the Australian ships are, I know one shipyard is in the Philippines where the Americans are building their ships. You would think China would have a notion to try to calm down ever since this pandemic they kind of started to not do that. So you would think they would try to say, you know what, guys, maybe we should back off from the media for a little bit just to do some PR work and try to get this stuff under control. As far as investing in them, Epic Times said that how they did their money. They do a lot of bribing, especially in Africa. They're very underhanded in how they try to undercut the market so they could get the business of people.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is through Epic Times. So investing in China for me is not really looking promising right now. I don't mind investing in foreign currencies and foreign currency current markets and things like that. But as far as China is concerned, and just the people I know in the Philippines, they're really not a fan of theirs. So that kind of deters it for me, both on a personal human level as well as a financial level. So they inflate their GDP a lot to get their money. There's money that's not there. So and it's a lot of money that's not there that they can't cash in on. So I probably wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of fall in the same line because I've been watching this Luckin Coffee, which is it's Chinese Starbucks basically. And I was thinking about buying into them, but one of the things that I noticed was there was, and I wish I had this pulled up, but I could swear that there was a story about the CEO of the coffee company kind of embezzling funds in the beginning.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, something of that nature. So it seems like, yeah, you might make something in the market, but there's something underhanded going on at all times with anything connected to this country.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, and that.
Sorry,
go ahead, DJ.
I'm sorry. That Luckin Coffee, that's Robinhood's been kind of pushing that too, because that's how they came on my radar. Is they keep pushing them as one of the top movers, but I didn't go in for it because I'm like, well, I never heard of them, so
yeah. Yeah, and they do have a, according to Epic Times, they do have a bribery department in China, and they do have setups in Africa. When they start saying they have actual bribery departments that they actually go in and talk to people to say, "Hey, take this and look the other way while we do this." That's underhanded to me. So
yeah,
and I've been to Hong Kong. They really like America. I've seen the songs. I've seen them wave the flags. They're really cool. And in recent news, they are already threatening. I can't think of is it Prime Minister or whoever is in China, the president. He's already threatened the UK. I think his name is Prime Minister Boris Johnson of the UK. He's threatening Boris that there may be quote unquote consequences if Boris or Prime Minister Johnson opens up the borders for Hong Kong people to come there, because he's opened up a sort of a passport visa type program for them, so they can try to get out of there if they need to. So
I think America should do the same thing, but I understand the British connection because it was a British colony for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And a lot of people in Hong Kong probably still consider themselves citizens of Hong Kong as a British colony rather than China. Okay, well, I think we come to pretty much a consensus, at least for the three of us, that it's probably best if we hands off, because it could be, at least in the financial aspect, way too volatile. And really, you want to be able to sleep at night. So that's something that kind of would weigh on my conscience if I was making money off of a brutal regime's underhanded power plays. But I guess that's just us. If you guys do as you please if you're listening with your money, but we wanted to make sure and touch on this because it is something I think is important to discuss. Now, another thing that I noticed in this Market Watch article is they're talking about Regeneron, a company I've never heard of, instead of big pharmaceutical companies. So kind of go with the little guy instead of the known Merricks or GlaxoSmithKline or Pfizer's. And I know, TJ, you've had some run-ins with pharma in your portfolio.
Yeah, none of them good.
What's your read on this?
I don't know. After a little experiment with Moderna, trying to make some money on that stock, I try and stay away from pharma now, like anything pharma. But Regeneron, it's pretty much the same thing that happened with Moderna. They were saying they're going to develop the vaccine for COVID, so the stock started going up, and I bought into it, and then it shot back down $10. So their stock's going for a crazy amount. It's like over $600. So I don't know what else, what other fires they have going on, or what other irons they have on the fire. But I don't know. I'd probably stay out of it. Like they have Pfizer on there. Pfizer, the price seems reasonable. They have a dividend. I'd probably go with that over Regeneron. And Regeneron, it sounds like some out of like a sci-fi movie. Sounds like something the Umbrella Corporation developed. So I'll probably just stay away from them.
Yeah, to me, it's like a more expensive Sorrento Therapeutics, which I got burned on earlier.
Yeah.
In the month. Franklyn, you own any pharma?
I believe I do, but they're more on a penny stock level. So, one of the things they also taught me from rich people is that to invest in things that you know, and I don't know anything about pharmaceuticals except for just over-the-counter stuff. But I do have penny stocks in companies that happen to rise just by pennies, but they are rising because of, the current pandemic. So people are trying to put their money into whatever they can to, keep themselves safe and things like that. So I do see those steadily rising, but nothing like, leaps and bounds like this particular stock. So.
All right, cool. Well, that gives me a good segue because I do want to talk about a penny stock that I just recently bought. And that's in my other news article here. 3 stocks to watch. This comes from investing.com. This week, JCPenney, American Airlines, and Adobe. And when I first read this headline, my thinking was JCPenney's not in bankruptcy. they're still a thing. But yeah, sure enough. And I looked it up, and JCPenney, when I looked up the stock, it was trading at like 36 cents a share. And I went ahead and I pulled the trigger. This is one that was not offered on Robinhood. And I bought it early this morning through my TD Ameritrade account. And let me go to my positions. So yeah,
Actually,
I bought it at 38 cents, and now it looks like we're at like 50 cents almost, 63 cents.
yeah,
So
yep.
it could be a
Because I
good
actually
thing.
own. Yep, I actually own stock with JCPenney, and I actually bought a whole bunch of it when they went down.
Wow,
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So what do you think? Because I've read some things about them possibly getting bought out by Amazon. How are you going to treat pennies?
I'll stick with it because I just bought nearly 40 shares from them just now about a few weeks ago, because I remember when I had them at 10 shares, they were at $1.29. So I'm hoping that they get back up, but we'll see how it goes. I really don't know what to think, because I know bankruptcy is supposed to be sort of a good bad thing. It clears the debt, but what happens to your stock? So I'm trying to learn, should I stick with it or shouldn't, or should I just dump it? But since it's just penny stocks, is it really hurting my bank if something goes wrong? So I'm still kind of weighing it in, but I saw it rise. I remember last week it was around, I want to say in the 20s maybe, and now they had 63 cents. I just checked my Robinhood, and they're rising, so that's a good sign. So I think I was ride it out, see what happens.
See, now I'm kind of curious because you said you checked it on your Robinhood. I could not get their stock ticker to come up on Robinhood whatsoever when I was doing it.
Oh, they changed their they changed their sticker number to JCPNQ.
Okay.
So that sounds like some sort of liquidation takeover type thing, but so they're under a different name now. So JCPNQ. So that's the guys.
All right, and hey, it's still 63 cents a share. Who knows? They could make some big moves, and that goes up to $20 or $30.
Yeah.
You never know with this type of stuff what's going to happen. They also mentioned American Airlines and Adobe. Now, American Airlines, I kind of shied away from any airline stock. I guess I took the Warren Buffett approach, and it wasn't a good approach because they've pretty much all rebounded by now. Either of you guys own any airlines?
No.
No.
I have a couple automotive manufacturers that also make some aerospace stuff, but no airlines themselves.
I really wish I would have bought Southwest during the March crater. Because again, by what you know, and I fly almost exclusively Southwest Airlines for Comic-Cons. And I love the company. I love the people. They've always seemed above board, never really have any bad press. And now it's almost back up to its pre-pandemic numbers. So the opportunity of getting in on the ground floor with airlines may be over with unless we have some sort of strange reversal. Adobe, yeah, okay, I can see that, but they're another kind of blue chip style stock. And I know, at least from my experience, and Franklyn, you might be in the same boat, trying to get away from Adobe products as much as possible just because of their cost. And they kind of rake you into that you're ours for life scenario.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard because I'm also on other art sites, and they keep asking me, well, what are you using to draw besides Adobe? And I had to tell them, well, I kind of made up my own Adobe package. So I use totally free software, but it's very powerful software, and trying to get them to communicate with each other is a nightmare, but you keep it separate. I mean, you just got to hop between different programs. So have fun with that. But but Adobe, they were a great company before they did this subscription thing. And I've seen a lot more YouTubers, professional artists, as well as people starting off saying, you know what, this Adobe thing is not really working out for me, and that subscription is just killing me. So I just got to find something else. So,
Yeah, totally. It's one of those things. It's like, if you can get it for when they do their sales, it's nice, but then you got to dump it by the end of the year or the end of the sale, and you might as well just move on. And there's a lot of products out there that are just as good, if not in some ways better. Like, I really like the Affinity software suite, and they just launched a publishing suite to go against InDesign, which I haven't had a chance to check out, but it looks solid. And I know Affinity Photo is pretty much just right alongside Photoshop for those photo editing capabilities.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are watching, I'm still getting this weird screen flicker that I've never gotten before, except for when we started doing this. And I've reached out to StreamYard, and so hopefully I can figure out this. But it only happens when I bring guests into the stream. It's a very odd thing. So I apologize if that's distracting for anybody who's watching. Okay, so we have a segment that we're going to be starting where we do some stock picks, and we're calling this, now let me see if I don't flub it, Date, Marry, Kill. Is that right, TJ?
Yeah. It's kind of like the old game, like what stock you're gonna kind of date, like take out for a day, and then what stock you're gonna marry, kind of hold on to long term, and then which one you're gonna kill and just get rid of it and never think about it again.
Okay, well, so I've pretty much already figured out what I want to do. So I'm dating Denny's. And that is a stock ticker DNN, I believe. Maybe not.
What, Denison Mines or Denny's the restaurant?
Denny's the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Trying to find the... Because again, it's like one of those things, buy what you know. And I was looking for something that was, like a restaurants that are affordable, that are going to start benefiting from people coming back and getting to sit down and eat again. And so that is one that I'm looking at right now. And if I bring it up, let me try to bring up Denny's here. I believe it was trading somewhere in the neighborhood of like $13 when I bought it.
Yeah, did you buy it this morning? Or?
I bought it early this morning. I put in, so let me bring this up here, and boom, we're going to share the screen. All right, so yeah, Denny's is currently trading at $13.78 a share. It was probably around $12.95 or just past 13 when I got it early this morning. Not too much here. I'm into it three shares, and so far, not quite. It's a loser. It's losing 66 cents. But again, I think once we start really being open and people are sitting down and eating again in restaurants, I think it could be a strong one because it's always been one of those national stabilized brands. So that's the one that I'm going to date. Mary is obviously Ford Motor Company. And this is one that's just been a great performer for me. Today was up to a little over 2.5%, currently trading at $7.53 a share. I got in at Ford at $4.98. It was one of my first stock purchases when I signed up for Robinhood in late March, early April. And yeah, it's definitely been a big winner for me. So it's one that I'm going to permanently keep in my portfolio. And just whenever I've got an extra $7 in my pocket or whatever it's trading at. And the great thing about Robinhood is for a lot of them, you can buy fractional shares, small pieces of shares. So even for like the big money ones, it's good to just put some money in there because it's going to be, I'd rather have like a fraction of Amazon earning 12% than $100 in the bank earning 0.001%.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the point of what we're trying to communicate in this show. Now for my kill, this is something I've had for a week now, and that is stock ticker NAK. This is Northern Dynasty Materials. It's a Canadian gold and copper mining facility. Bought it at $1.12, I think, per share. It's been down or done nothing until today, actually. This is the first day that it's really kind of been up. And so I've almost, I'm still down on it, $3.60 from my initial purchase. But it's gone up a little bit. So this is one that I'm thinking about getting rid of, but I don't know how long to ride it out. Do either one of you guys have any? Do you own these? Do you have any input on these or opinion?
That one I don't own. I'm thinking I should probably buy some of that. The price is reasonable, you know.
Yeah, it's $1. It's one of those dollar stocks, but it's it's like in a sector that should be doing better than it is. They get according to Robinhood, they engage in exploration development of gold and copper mineral properties. So that's your manufacturing base. So I don't know if I should just kind of stick with it, or if maybe this is a loser one and I'd be better bailing out and putting the money somewhere.
As for me, a date stock that I do own is Snap Incorporated. Their sticker, trying to pull up real quick, so it's running a bit slow. Snap, so that is the guys from Snapchat. Their stock has dramatically risen from the last time I seen these guys over the past few weeks. I remember seeing them at like $12 last week. Now they're at $20.64 a share. And because of the pandemic, that's what everybody's doing. Even I had yesterday having a problem buying a tablet for my mom because her vision is pretty bad. So I want to get her something a bit bigger to watch and read. So since technology is the way to go for people to communicate right now, is one of those things you want to look at is also the social media platforms that's making people communicate. And Snap I had for a long time, and the numbers are still going up. So that'd be one I would date. Mary is a company called U-Bolt, U-Bot. They are a company. Their ticker is UBOT.
Okay.
And they are a robotics and artificial intelligence company. And when I bought them, I bought one of their shares at $12.
Holy cow!
And then the pandemic happened, and they dropped to like around $4.62. So I cleaned house and just like invested because I've seen their numbers before, and I know once this whole thing, we know more about this pandemic, stock will go back up. And sure enough, it did. And I just bought a whole bunch of it, and it's now at $114.42 a share.
Holy cow. Good job, man. We applaud you.
That's the name of the game right there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you other than AI, have you learned anything more about their what they do? Like, why did they benefit so well from a rebound?
Not from what I hear from them per se. Like, I've been keeping an eye on this stock and my power ETF, and they are steadily growing. As far as this company is concerned, nothing major has happened. I don't know why they consolidated all my stocks into one, but that's where it is right now. And invest in what you know. So since I worked with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics for about a good year and a half, I think, with this company. I know where the technology is going to go. It's not going to just be for just cars. It's going to be pretty much everywhere. So that's why I invested in this company. So but as far as what their future plans are going, I have no idea.
Cool. Anything you're looking to kill?
Yeah, I don't want to say this because I did work in the Hollywood industry, but I do own Kodak, the film company. I do have their stock. I always kept it at one because I never see their numbers, doing nothing big for me. It's always, they're down right now. So I don't know what's going on with them. You would think, and I can understand because of the pandemic, they're not really shooting film movies right now. And they still shoot with film. They just use digital as rehearsals and then they shoot it with film. But their numbers are still like going down and down. It's like, why am I even holding on to this? They're not even doing anything. So that may be one I plan on killing.
Yeah, Kodak seems but Kodak seems like one of those things that they've really not favored well post the digital age.
Yeah. Now that's what caused their bankruptcy in the first place, because they thought, nobody ever fall for that digital stuff. And well, There you go.
Wah wah.
Yep.
All right, TJ, what do you got?
All right. For marrying, or I'm sorry, for dating, I did plug, PLUG. I think this one I got into, or I heard about it, like Robinhood, they'll kind of say, hey, check out this stock, or this is a top mover or something. This one I actually did do a date. I bought it this morning at $4.99, and I sold it this afternoon. I'm really bad with like penny stocks to where I won't keep track of them. Like I won't watch them, and then they'll go up, and then they'll drop down like dramatically, and then usually Erik sends me a message like, hey, you see your stock? And then I look and I'm like, no. So this one I happened to log in. It was at like 526. So I sold it because I'm like, it's going to drop back down again, as most of my stocks do. So of course, since I sold it while it was up, it went up more to 530 now. But had I not sold it, it would probably be at 4.25 right now. So anyone that still owns it, you owe me one.
Well, it's funny you say that. This was my free stock for joining Robinhood.
Oh, nice.
So I've got one share of it that cost me nothing, and today it's up 42 cents for me, 8%. My total return has been $5.30 on this free stock. So
cool.
It's 100 right now. It's sitting at 100% gain.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Okay, so who you marrying?
Marion, GM. Let's see. I bought into it. Let me pull up what I bought it for. Because I bought into it. It was around like 25, I think. Yeah, 24.67. It's like I haven't owned it that long. Probably I don't know, a month or 2 or 3 weeks. And it's always been in the green for me, like it's never really gone down. I think they do dividend. Well, yeah, not a lot of dividends, but it'll pay you something, I guess. But yeah, I've never had to worry about it. I just bought it and held on to it, and it's never gone in the red with me. Never give me any grief. So it's a good one to marry. It's low maintenance as a marriage should be. And then oh, and then my kill would be Rocket Pharmaceuticals.
Okay, and that's
yeah, it's going up a little bit now. I'm into it, I think, for 20 and a half, like 2050, I think I'm in it for.
That's ticker symbol RCKT for those of you who are just listening to us.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I should have pointed that out too. Yeah, I'm into it for $20.50 a share. Right now it's under 19. I think pretty much since I bought it, it hasn't been worth more than what I bought it for. So gonna do a little experiment this week. I figure I'll kind of check it out, see where it goes. Saturday we'll kind of check back on it. Well, Friday I'll probably sell it either way, and then Saturday we can kind of go over it, like see if it was good that I killed it or bad that I killed it or something like that. I figured that'd be a good little experiment for us.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that sounds awesome. Yeah, I kind of went on a little bit of a buying spree this morning. I added some more Ford. I added to my NVIDIA. But yeah, I went ahead and I pulled the trigger on that Denny's. I also, this is a news item we didn't touch on, but big news in Russia and Saudi Arabia cutting oil production. And that's caused all of the oil producing stocks, most of them anyway, to rise significantly. I bought Halliburton this morning, and it's already 13.6% higher. And oddly enough, I think U.S. oil is down still. Yeah, it's like down 0.38, which I thought it would have got the boost too. But and then there was that. What was that? Chesapeake.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was insane. Like I think it started this morning at what? Like Chesapeake, it started at like 38 or 40 this morning. And then I think it got up to like around 80, almost 80 or something a day. It was now I can't remember what the how do you spell Chesapeake? I'm trying to type it in to look where it was at, and now I can't remember how to do it. Oh, here we go. Chesapeake Energy symbols CHK. Yeah, it was. It started this morning. It was around 38. It got up to like 77. Then it went down a little bit, and then it peaked again at $79 around about 4:45 today, and now it's back down around 67, 66. So I mean, even if you got it first thing in the morning, held on to it, even though it's down, you're still up. Like $30, 30 or around.
Going back in time with it to May 14th, it was $8.65 a share.
Oh man.
Wow.
So this is one of those examples. If you hear anybody say it's going to the moon, this is a stock that went to the moon today.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's quite a skyrocket. But you know what? It's one of those things that we can learn from. And because I didn't know this company existed until you had messaged it to me. I'm like, I've never heard of that. And you just never know. This is why it's important to kind of do your research and definitely invest in what you know, but then expand what you know.
Exactly.
Okay, I guess you could say. Okay, well, we're starting to wind down. We're going to try to keep these episodes about 45 minutes, try to stay under an hour. We definitely had a wonderful time. We don't have any questions in the chat, which is unfortunate, but we're still a growing broadcast. And hopefully you will subscribe on Spotify. Like I said, we're already on Google Podcasts. You can also subscribe via YouTube. Check us out, Broke Money Hustle on Facebook. We go live Mondays and Saturdays, Saturday at 11 a.m. to discuss what we did during the week and where we're at. And Mondays, we go live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to kind of give our idea of the plan for the week. Because again, it's like we're not day traders. I'm not putting money in every single day. I basically have to wait till payday, see what I can do, see what's in the budget. But again, do things that rich people do. Rich people pay themselves first. Poor people, sadly, we pay ourselves last most of the time. And usually there's not enough money left over to put in savings. So that's one of the things that we need to try to change as a culture, as a behavior, so that we don't have surprises that break the bank. Be prepared for situations in the coming future. Anyway, I really want to thank my co-host TJ, and a special thanks to Franklyn for coming on. It was wonderful to have you here. You got any closing things? Any hot picks you want to throw our way?
Nothing hot at the moment. Like I said, I was trying to stay inside my own wheelhouse, so I've been looking at Nokia and companies that do semiconductors as technology continues to grow. I forgot the name of the law, but technology gets smaller and faster every 2 years. So Nokia is one I've been kind of eyeing because not only are they low in price and getting their stocks going, but they also do dividends as well. And I've been trying to find companies to do a lot more dividends since I found out about it. So so I'm looking for that, and I'm very interested in. I've been off the waiting list for a while now with Robinhood, so I do have a cash management account. So I do have their card now.
Oh, nice. So tell us about that. How's that work?
So from what I understand, the card is just a fancy checking account. It's just where you can use your phone app to sell something on the stock, and once it's sold, it'll be on your card. So if you need to spend it anywhere. The weird thing about it though is that if your phone is away from the card, it won't work. I don't know how they did that, or why would they add that as a security feature, but your phone has to be in a certain range for the card to work. I don't know why they introduced that, but other than that, it looks and sounds great as a card. They've been talking about this, and another thing they was doing, I don't know if Robinhood did this just yet, but fracture shares on their site. I was interested in doing that too because you told me about fracture shares and I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
with Robinhood, you basically just buy it in dollars instead of shares.
Yeah.
And so, because I have certain goals, like I want to own one whole share of Nvidia by the end of the month. So I just I threw $13 in to this morning into my Nvidia. Almost, I think I'm at like 3/4 of a share, so I'm getting there. And then after that, I want to work on getting a full share of Netflix, and long term a full share of Amazon.
Yeah.
And really, I don't see something like Amazon as an investment as much of a store of wealth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's giving a better return than storing my money in the bank. So why wouldn't I just stick it in a company?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's pretty good. Yep.
All right. Hey, TJ, you got any final words?
No. Hopefully, today seemed like it was a pretty good day on the market. I did a little bit of buying and selling some penny stocks, and made a little bit, nothing crazy, but so hopefully the rest of the week is like that, where we're catching it while it's low and selling it while it's high, and hopefully our long-term holding stocks and everything go up.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, long-term plans. You play the long game on the ones you like, and if you can, play the short game. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us again. I really want to thank my guest Franklyn for coming on, being brave to come discuss important things with some guys who really don't know what they're doing, but they're trying to figure it out together. And definitely learned some things from you. And hopefully you guys listening at home have learned some things from us. Again, I want to stress that we are not paid financial investors. We don't get anything from Robinhood. We're just a platform that's easy to use that we like. It's just a coincidence. Don't take our advice. Please consult with an actual financial consultant before you do anything drastic with your money. And we encourage you to try the stock market, try gold, silver, wherever you can. Just try to find ways to put your money somewhere other than a bank to where you can grow that money, get it working for you. So until Saturday, thanks very much for listening. And on behalf of TJ and Franklyn, we bid you good night.
This is Broke Money Hustle. And now here's Broke Money Hustle with Franklyn and Erik.